I want to meet someone who loves me for me and I love them right back. And if they have that motivation,
Right.
I don't care what they make.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. If you vibe gon' hit you, people who ride with you, get it live, who can paint that picture.
Let's
Ain't
get
no
ready
way
to rumble.
We are live.
All right, episode 5, staying alive. We are with we got a treat for everyone. And everyone listening, try to go to YouTube Live or YouTube and watch this episode so you could see and appreciate the beauty behind our guest. All right, guys, episode 5 of the Royal Rumble. We're going to have some conversation with a little bit of chaos today, and we have a very, very special guest, dear friend of mine that I love, I look up to, I've known for a little while, the Melissa Platt. Melissa, thank you so much for coming in.
I'm dead.
You got to be special to put the word "the" in front of.
I appreciate that.
Kind of like Ohio State. They say the Ohio State University.
Okay.
All right, Melissa. So thank you for coming. You're here. I think next to the President of the United States, you could be the most busiest human being I've ever known. And the fact that we got you here, I'm super blessed. And so is our audience. So
happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Melissa and I met a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, mutual friends. And just like anything else, like immediately drawn to like your energy. You know, I'm real big on like source energy and like vibrations. And I always noticed that whenever I would see you, like you're always in a good mood. You're always like nice and caring and loving. And that's the, person I got from you. But then I started to watch and observe on a work basis. And I started to like genuinely like respect you for your work ethic. Like you take your work very serious. And I respect that a lot about you. So you're kind of like the full package. We'll get into it a little bit, but as of recent, are you a reality TV star? Is that what you are now?
Some might say that.
So I wanted to get into that.
Not a star, but I'm on reality TV.
Nah, you're definitely a star. I would say you're one of the most influential, I don't want to say character because then it makes you sound like you're an actor and you're not. Yeah. Influential cast members on the show. Okay, so I'm talking too much. So Melissa, tell us, I want to get into, upbringing, childhood, how that kind of how that segued into real estate. Mm-hmm. And then we'll talk, some more personal stuff. So born and raised in Dallas.
Plano.
Yes.
Plano West, baby.
And what was Plano is like a great place to grow up.
It is. And it's huge. I mean, there's Plano West, Plano East, and Plano Senior.
So I'm from Ohio, and people say, you got to tell me what Texas is like. And I give like 3 like direct analogies, and I go, well, Texas is a country, and there's a city called Plano, and Plano's a state. And they go, what's Plano? And I go, it's Plano.
Yeah.
But it's a city that's absolutely massive, and it takes 40 minutes to get from one side to the other. Possibly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So growing up in Plano, I remember when I moved here a while ago, but when I started working in Plano, I remember driving by a sign that said, welcome to Plano, ranked #1 safest place to live in like 20 whatever. Mm-hmm. So Plano's like awesome. It's like the epitome of like good, like suburban.
Yeah,
right?
But weirdly enough, it's like #1 for heroin.
Really?
Or it used to be, and that's shocking. Sorry.
When did that come out?
PG clients listening.
No, who gives a fuck? This is our show, baby.
No, when I was in high school, it was like known that heroin was #1 in Plano, which I had never seen it, luckily. But it's wild. And then I did end up having a lot of people I had known that either went to rehab or passed away from it.
Really? Mm-hmm. I would have never known
like
that.
A Debbie Downer, sometimes.
No,
I throw out these facts and people are like having a great time. They're like, Plano's amazing.
But people need to know.
Yeah, heroin, it's pretty popular there.
That's wild. Mm-hmm. Okay,
it's surprising.
All right, so Plano, even though nice and beautiful, a good place to raise a family, watch out for the fucking heroin.
Yes, exactly. Okay. That's so true.
All right, so you grew up in Plano, and I think I have like certain like spirit animals that I found on social media, and like I might have 3 of them in the world. I think your grandma is. She's
iconic.
I think like when I watch your Instagram stories, your grandma, I literally like smile.
Yes.
Your grandma is like
she's a treat.
And I would love to meet her one day. she seems like she is just such a blessing to be around, like full of life.
She's 95 and she has a wine holder in her walker. And literally, if you asked her, oh, how do you make it to 95? It's calamari and wine. And obviously, like, love from her family and friends, but it's calamari and wine. She doesn't eat all day. Drives me crazy, but.
Where's her favorite calamari in Dallas?
Eddie V's.
Eddie V's? Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Shout out Eddie V's on your calamari for keeping grandma.
Exactly. And it's bossy with 2 money signs for the S's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you grew up and like loving family.
Yes.
Okay.
Great family. My brother does the whole poker thing out in Vegas. That's where he lives.
Right. He's a big time poker player.
And then poker host for Poker Go. And
no, but he recently had a really big turnout at a tournament.
Yeah, he's really good. And he enjoys it. And my dad taught us that growing up. He was like, as long as you work hard at what you want to do, if it's your passion, you know, we'll find a way to get you there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's just you and your brother, and you guys are close. He lives in Vegas full time.
Yes.
Okay.
He's 4 years older than me.
Awesome.
So he's 24.
So if you're 21, he's I was just, he's 25. See, I got
exactly.
you.
Exactly. Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So Melissa's brother's 25.
Yes,
clearly.
I'm 21.
Obviously, Melissa's 21.
It's good to be here.
Okay. So born and raised here, and then where'd you go to college? I'm assuming you went to
University of Arizona.
Cool. And that's in Tucson?
Yes.
How far is Tucson from Scottsdale?
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay, but people from UA don't party in Scottsdale.
Oh, I partied.
But would you go to Scottsdale to party?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, you know, Tucson, University of Arizona is the #1 party school. I tell people I'm still hungover from college.
See, I hear that Arizona. Okay, so
well, it was more Greek life is
Got
Tucson,
it.
and then Scottsdale is more like shopping and nightlife.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love
Both.
ASU, but I'm happy I went to Tucson because I loved the Greek life aspect.
You were in a sorority?
Yeah, Theta.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, again, every college is totally different, but if Greek life is big, that could kind of make or break your experience.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So you were in a sorority, so you had a great experience in college.
I still think I'm in a sorority. I call and I'm like, hey, do you need any help this year? And they're like, who are you? Like, you graduated, what, a year ago? I'm just kidding. Long time ago.
I mean, watch the Netflix show. We'll talk about it. Kind of seems like a big old Greek life. You guys are tight knit. We'll get.
You got to be initiated.
Yeah. Right. So you go to school, and then let's talk about what kind of sparked. What age did your interest or love or fascination start with real estate?
Great question. So when I was in school, I actually wanted to get into fashion.
In high school or college?
College.
Okay.
And so summer before senior year, I got an internship at Prada in New York, and I was a buying intern.
I would imagine that's very hard to get a fucking intern at Prada.
Yeah, it was. It was hard. But it's all about networking.
Okay, hang on.
How did you get an interview?
How did you get an opportunity to interview with Prada? Being an outsider looking in, I would think that thousands of people apply. Mm-hmm. So what was that like, interviewing at Prada? Yeah,
so my cousin worked for like high up with Tory Burch, which is another designer.
Yeah.
And he had a great connection to Prada. And like I said, you always have to work your networking and who you know.
Yep.
And I still had an interview. Like, I think I went through 4 rounds of interviews. So it's not like they're like, hey, you know Scott Herkus, you can, you know.
Come on in. No, you had to work for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Prada's not going to just hire anyone, no matter who you are.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It was tough though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate how hard people in fashion work, but I would like wave in the hallways and no one would wave back. I was like, okay.
I fucking hate that.
Cool. Yeah. But I got that out of my system. But I had that internship in New York. So I lived in New York for 3 months before my senior year, which was incredible.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change that experience.
Yeah. Like they put you up in an apartment, you have family there, you stayed in?
No, I had to, get my own apartment, a little studio in Chelsea.
You're like 17 years old and you're spending this.
I was 21.
Okay. I'm sorry. Before your senior year of college.
Yes.
My bad. Okay.
Yeah, you would be right if it was high school.
Okay.
But so I got the fashion part out of my head. I was like, this isn't going to work. Yeah. And then when I graduated college, I was really interested in event planning. Mm-hmm. So always in the back of my head was real estate. However, I wanted to get these little,
maybe passions or whatever.
Maybe passions out of the way. And so right out of that, I did event planning. Again, whoever does that, I want to bow down to you because it takes away your social life completely. Yeah. And I just moved back to Dallas. I was 22 years old. Yep. And so then I realized, okay, event planning ain't for me. And then so I studied to get my Texas real estate license.
Okay.
And the day I passed, came home, and I was like, hey, I'm going to move to LA, I think. And my parents were so confused. Because, again, I got my Texas real estate license.
Right.
And I think that scared me because the fact it was real and I passed the test, I was like, oh, my gosh, I have to be here now.
Yeah.
And for the rest of my life in Dallas. I need to get one more thing out of my system, and that's to move to LA.
So you always kind of had in the back of your head, like, I wonder what it would be like to be in LA. I would always want to be in LA. You always had this LA thing, like, what would it be like?
Yeah, because my brother went to USC, and then most of my friends from college lived in LA and went back there after school.
Because that's not that far?
No.
Okay.
And so my parents said to me, I mean, obviously we had many discussions about it, and I was like, listen, I know Dallas is in my future.
Isn't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I have to, squeeze the words together. Is in my future, but I want to get LA out of my system. And they said, great, you can go, but you have to have a job. And so then I went into fashion PR. It's just a different side of fashion.
Okay.
6-month internship. While I was doing that, I was studying for my California real estate license.
Got it.
So once I did that, then it was real estate again, we won't say how old I am, for a long time. That's what I've been doing since I was 22.
That's amazing. So while you were studying, you had this internship.
I had a full-time job while I was studying for my California real estate license.
So you're getting paid for this internship in LA.
Yes, but
like
can see it's very tiny.
Yeah. And then while you're in your internship, getting paid, just kind of scraping by.
Yeah.
You studied for the California, and did you pass the first time?
I did, and I'm a horrible test taker.
I would imagine real estate exams are relatively hard.
Yeah, and it's like all these scenarios. It's like Sally wants to buy a house, and
common.
I'm like, okay, I get Sally wants to buy a house, but then it's like a lot of craziness afterwards.
Okay, so you pass, and while you were, I know this is a lot, but while you're doing you're working, and then you're studying, are you networking while you're doing that?
Of course.
Because you're thinking like, I need to sell a house to someone after I pass
once
the
I
test.
get my test, let's go.
Okay. So after you get passed, walk us through what kind of catapult sparked your real estate
career.
Like your first deal or
I'll tell you. So I'm very lucky. My best group of guys out there, one of them is a sports agent, and that's how I've been really lucky in representing mostly athletes. My first client was John Wall. Exactly.
Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's embarrassing me doing it. He was awesome.
Kentucky boy.
Yeah, Kentucky boy.
By the way, I think he needs one more tattoo to fully have his entire body tattooed.
Really?
I just saw something last week.
Oh.
He didn't have one tattoo at Kentucky.
That's wild.
Not one. He was
he couldn't be a nicer guy. Very shy, but completely respectful.
It's awesome.
Very nice. So yeah, I got him a place in Mulholland Estates, and that was a 3-month short-term lease, but I moved him in, everything. That's what I do. I do like an added-on concierge service, but I don't have them charge me. Will unpack their bags, buy their furniture, get reimbursed, of course.
Yeah.
And make their house feel like a home in a short period of time, because these guys get thrown all over the place.
Yeah.
And I want to make it easy on them, and I believe that it'll come full circle and that they'll one day buy from me.
100%. And yeah, I mean, when you're consumed as athlete, executive, whatever you are, the last thing you want to worry about is something like that. So as an add-on service, you're like, hey, listen, I'm gonna make this process seamless. I find you a place, relocate you. I'll unpack your stuff so you walk into a home, and you build that relationship.
Exactly.
And so through that, you kind of had that little is it niche or niche? Someone said niche a while ago, and I was like, what the fuck? But then more people said niche.
I don't know.
So
tomato,
you had
tomato.
So your strength became like working with athletes that you built relationships with, getting them acclimated to the new place, and then
yeah, it's just like an added-on service without saying, hey, this is an add-on service. I'm like, don't worry about it. I'll take care of things for you.
Yeah.
I'll give you a place of, restaurants to go to, or shopping, or nightlife. I can introduce you to X or,
Sure. So name some
of the... And I stock their fridge.
There you go. So name some of the top athletes that you've worked with
my
before.
first sale, I was with a team when I first started real estate, and then my last assistant/agent job was for this agent, Alejandro, who I adore. And he's the one that really got me to where I am as far as my knowledge in real estate. I shadowed him. I dealt with extremely VIP clientele. And then when my first sale alone, right after Alejandro was, I represented Chandler Parsons on a $12.5 million sale in Bel Air.
Shit.
Yeah. And he's one of my best friends to this day. I adore him.
Is he?
Yeah. And
he's funny.
Oh, he's hilarious.
I've seen a lot of, I mean, I've never met him, but I've seen his videos. He seems like a funny guy.
Yeah, he's a smart guy too.
Yeah.
And I actually brought my best friend Farah on the deal with me because your first real deal solo, right? Again, I've done many deals with Alejandro, but my first deal solo, I was like, I'd rather get half the commission than all of it and fuck it up. Like Chandler's very important to me.
Sure.
You know, as a friend and a client. And so Farah was outstanding. And so we did that deal together.
And it just takes one. It takes
one.
It takes one deal to start your career. It could take one deal where everything crumbles. So you have a top athlete, which, by the way, Charlie, I remember, I don't follow the NBA too closely, but I just remember he got a big old deal with, I think, Houston. I think that's when he got a big one. And then he came to Dallas for a minute.
Yeah.
But because he had that big contract with Houston, was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
know.
But he got a huge one with Memphis.
Memphis, that's right.
Yes.
I think he ended his career in Memphis, maybe?
Atlanta,
okay.
yes.
Anyways,
so.
he's like a top, I mean, for like a 5-year, whatever it was, stretch, like he was a top athlete.
Oh, yeah.
That's not someone to like lollygag or fuck around. Like you have to put your best foot forward and let him know, just like anyone else, like you take your shit serious.
Oh,
you don't want
exactly.
anything to mess up.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a big testament, I think, to your personality. But like, I think a lot of people make the mistake of, like when people sometimes when people go to start a business, they have the wrong mindset sometimes. And so I think sometimes it's easier to get a little bit of something than all of nothing. Right?
Yeah, for sure. And, I've done a million deals, not a million, but, by myself. It's just the ones that are really, really, really important,
Yep.
And you want someone else's expertise or another set of eyes, you got to do it.
Yeah.
Because again, if I missed one thing or said the wrong thing and fucked up that deal, I would never have forgiven myself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I would have been fine, right? Like,
yeah, but still.
I take these things so seriously, but
Sure.
still.
I mean, it obviously shows. So you start to kind of make a name for yourself in LA. And then at what point do you kind of start like transitioning? Like when I met you, 3-4 years ago, I mean, you were in Dallas, living in Dallas. So at what point after you got yourself established in LA, did you start going like back and forth just because athletes would come to Dallas?
It's a great question. So really what it was that drew me back to Dallas was my family.
Okay.
So I would come back home all the time and I would like get anxiety when I'd have to go back to LA. And I was like, that shows that I can make it work in both states, but I need my home base to be in Dallas.
Got it.
So once I made that move, I was very consistent of going to LA once a month and spending 1 to 2 weeks there and handling my clients there, and then coming back here and handling my clients here.
Got it.
So, and it's still tough. Like I still do that.
Yeah.
Obviously I hate talking about COVID, but since COVID things have changed.
Sure.
But yeah, I try and handle my clients the best way I can in both states. And if I have an emergency in LA that with a client, I'll call Farah or Rishi or someone else I'm very close with.
Yeah.
And then same thing for here.
Yeah.
Would call Eric if I,
Yeah. It's just amazing how, like they say as a parent, like it takes a village to raise a child. It's amazing how it takes a team. It really does.
It does take
and
a team.
one thing I speak on is I will never, ever say the word I'm a self-made millionaire because I would never want to insinuate to any one person or group of people that self-made is insinuating it was all me. It's a team of people. So I think that's awesome that you have a team of people that are willing to help.
Exactly.
Because again, like in a microwave society where everybody wants something so quick and so fast, it's just good that you have a good base of people around you to rely on if you need to, because I'm sure that you would return the favor.
Right. And I never expect a dime.
Right.
I'm like, if you're out of town, you need my help. But with agents, you have to still say, I'm free to help you this weekend, or I'll hold open house, but you don't have to pay me. You have to say that because then they're thinking, oh, she wants my commission, or she wants this, she wants that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. Just like, let's help each other out if we can.
Yeah.
I have to still say that, even if it's with someone who's helped me 40 times.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, that's awesome. So you start, you get your good little like client base, your book of business, I would say, established kind of in LA. Come to Dallas because there's just that intuition, like in your gut when you left, like I got to make this base. So then you
especially for Bossy.
For what? Oh, for grandma?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For grandma. You call her Bossy?
Uh-huh.
That's great. So you do that, and so you're running, you're gunning, you're shaking, you're moving, you do all this stuff, and then how does the show come up? How does that start?
So Mauricio, who is the CEO of the company, he reached out to all of the agencies. So real quick, with my 2 licenses, my California one is with the agency, and my Texas one is with Allie Beth Allman because the agency isn't here yet.
Got it.
Okay. And I work for an incredible team at Allie Beth with Alex Perry and Eric.
Yep.
So I'm very thankful for that opportunity.
Yeah.
But so with this California, Mauricio reached out to the whole company. Hey, we're having auditions for a show and we'd love everyone to audition, blah, 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 blah. I didn't see the email. You know, it's just one of those days I didn't see it. Mauricio called me. He's like, hey, are you going to interview for the show? And I was like, what show?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. And he's like, well, Netflix has some interest in us for a TV show. And I'm like, Farrah, are you doing it? And she's like, I don't know. And Mauricio's like, yeah, you're in it. And she was like, oh, okay. So I had to go through the rounds like everyone else. People think I just got it because I'm Farrah's best friend. Not the case. I went through 6 video rounds because it was COVID, right? It was all through Zoom.
So did not everyone at the company team make it on the show?
No, there's only 10 of us.
So the episodes that I watched were like, there was an episode of like The Office.
Yeah.
That's not everyone?
No, are you talking about everyone at the agency?
Yeah.
The agency headquarters in Beverly Hills is over 100 agents.
Oh.
Yeah,
in
and
the
then
shows,
worldwide,
yeah,
we're
there's
about
like
1,500. It's a boutique brokerage.
Yeah.
Boutique.
Got it. I was fucking wondering when I watched the show. I was
Oh,
like,
you thought it was that small?
yes.
Oh, no. That's hilarious.
So the people that are on the team with the
chosen.
company, got it.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
So,
Because I was saying to myself when I'm watching the show, I was like, they're doing a shit ton of fucking revenue for like the 10 people I see on the show.
dead. Yeah, I mean, those guys, though, kill it, though. But I think I was told like 80 of the Beverly Hills office, and Brentwood included, they tried out. So like 10 made it.
Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
So just like the Prada, like you have an opportunity, but like you gotta earn it.
Yeah.
You got to introduce the opportunity, right? Kind of like the internship at Prada, but like you still got to go through the rounds. You got to go through the interviews.
Exactly.
They're going to be selective of who they pick and choose to be on a fucking Netflix show, and you make it. And full transparency, I'm not like, I don't know, I guess you could say it's like a reality show.
It
right?
is. They
like,
call it a docu.
Okay. So I would say that like that's not my like style to watch. That's not my go-to.
I get it. Trust me.
So I see that you're on it, and I'm like, I gotta fucking watch.
My boob's not popping out.
Nah, you're good. Damn, boob.
Yeah.
So I gotta watch. So I watch, and like, here you are. Is this like you were yourself? 100%. I will tell everyone listening. Like, I'm sure most of you, if not all, have watched the Netflix Buying Beverly Hills, right? But like, that is Melissa. So regardless, I don't even care to ask about like fucking cue cards and narrative that's being played out. Like, you were yourself.
Yeah.
That was you.
Yes.
It's just hilarious that like the big fucking like, I don't know what you call, like you were like the root of it, right?
Yeah, like the drums.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I'm tough love, and of course, it gets presented maybe in a harsher light, but yeah, no.
But like that's how you talk to me though.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like when you are getting on me for being an idiot, you talk to me the way like you are on the show. Like, well, listen, I'll just tell you right now, like, if you want to do this, then you got to stop doing that.
Exactly.
Nick. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like that was you.
Yeah, that's me.
And that's, I think, what I respect a lot is that, I've been asked a couple times, like 3-4 times, to be on a reality show, and my biggest concern is that I can't be myself.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern is like, I'll never do something and play to a narrative or just say something that's out of my character. And I will say that, I mean, I feel like I was watching the real Melissa Platt when I was watching the show, and it was an entertaining show.
Good. I'm glad.
I mean, I looked at it like the people on your team on the show, like they're so fucking different, which is what makes it entertaining to watch.
Which I love too. Yeah.
Absolutely. No one wants to watch people that look the same, dress the same, all that stuff. But some of the guys are pretty entertaining to watch. Some of the drama with the girls, but it was cool. I mean, I really enjoy watching it, but I more so enjoyed watching you in your true self. So
yeah, and it was a wild experience, and yesterday we were renewed officially.
I was just about to bring that up. So congrats on season 2.
Yeah, it's so fun that I can say that.
Yeah.
Because
it's official. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so with season 1, well, I guess when season 1 starts, I mean, we saw how the show played out. I mean, were you given? Yeah, I mean, I do want to know, and I just tell me.
Give it to me. What?
Well, did they tell you a narrative that they want to that they want to go to? Okay.
I thought that was what.
How are you presented from the producers? Are they? Tell me how it's presented. Hey, just be yourself. We're gonna film you. Fucking act like we're not here, or no.
Exactly. Act like we're not here. I mean, there were scenarios, right, where they would say, "Hey, Melissa, do you have a buyer for, or are you taking a client out this week?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm taking out Olivia and Natalie to see, Milldale, right?" And then they'll be like, "Okay, we want to film that." Okay, great.
Now you call your friends and hey, just so you know, we're going to be filming.
Oh yeah, you have to get them to sign off everything.
Okay,
got it. Contract, location agreement, all that stuff. But no, they wait behind the camera to see what happens, and then they're the ones who put everything together.
Got it.
They don't tell us what their plan is. Does that make sense? They're not like, "Hey, Melissa, why don't you go tell Nick
take a look at this closet because you like shoes and you're going to like something more than that?"
No. Yeah. Or even worse than that. Ask Nick, who he hooked up with last weekend. That would be a conversation we would have on our own. So they don't need to tell me that.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
But no, people think they're like, "Oh, was it scripted?" I said, not at all. Sometimes I wish it was scripted so you would know what the day would be like. But no, they just trusted our instincts of how we do our day to day.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I really like that a lot. So for season 2, I mean, that's awesome. Super exciting.
Very exciting.
And so, I mean, it's going to be built on the same premise. Hey, show up. And it is.
So for season 2, it's just going to be more real estate porn, which is what everyone wants to see,
I like that.
Because again, the houses that the agency gets.
I mean, they're fucking stunning.
They're stunning.
That episode where you guys had, it was
$139 million one.
I mean, I didn't know things like that existed until I saw the show.
Honestly, me either.
I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, somebody had the money and the creativeness and the inspiration to fucking build this. Mm-hmm. Who is that person?
Exactly.
Where did they get their inspiration to build that home? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's incredible, the houses. And then again, you look at that, and then in other episodes, you look at a $15 million house, which is stunning. Mm-hmm. But then it's you're comparing it to that, and it's
oh, I know.
Let me ask you this.
It's a lifestyle, baby.
Let me ask you this. So is it hard for you to get as passionate to show a $6 million house as it is a $60 million house? Or no, do you look at it
I'll change that up a little bit, right? Because, showing homes in LA for 7 years of my career and still doing it. I'm talking about every day in LA, right? And then coming back to Dallas, it's a completely different world.
Correct.
Nowadays, you're seeing more of the modern architecture and, the interior design that you want to see. That's coming from a lot coming from California. That's what's hard, right? I'm talking views wise. Mm-hmm. I'm showing a house that has 360 views of Malibu. Okay.
And then
I come back and I'm showing, a $15 million place in the Park Cities, but we're looking at a fence and you see the house right next to you. It's hard to compare. And it doesn't, again, Dallas, I love, I'm just being honest. Some of the things I'm not as excited about this because it's not the ocean and the mountains and the.
Not only that, but to your point, the biggest thing that I take away about Dallas homes is that okay, I'm from Ohio, I'm from Cleveland. So if you buy a $200,000 home compared to a $2 million home, it is so different. Mm-hmm. Behind what you get for what you're paying for.
Yes.
The point I'm making is that in Dallas, it could be a $500,000 home or a $7.5 million home, but you're still on top of your neighbor.
Yes.
So it's not that money that you're spending, that trust me, you're getting a better house, you're getting more amenities, but you're still, it's not like you have like 50 acres now.
Yes, exactly.
It's not like you have all this space and this land and this like whatever. It's like you're still right on top of your neighbor.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is that you're saying is that like you don't got to be an ocean.
Yeah, it's just different, you know? But I mean, I've taken a lot of pride in my Dallas real estate activity because, you know, there's beautiful homes here and you get it's very comfortable living in Dallas and you don't deal with like, you know, some LA like crime and stuff. It's very homey here, which I love. Yeah. And I have 5 families right now moving from California to Dallas.
Really?
So it's just different.
You know, it's interesting you just said that because being in Texas now, I've been here for like 12 years now. So since I've been here, I've personally seen the transition and the wave of the Californians coming here.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you just alluded to that because your 2 target demographics are California, Texas.
Yes.
And a major demographic that's transitioning to Texas is from California.
Yes.
So that's interesting that there's no better insight you can give a client of, oh, you're interested in going to Texas. Let me tell you about Dallas. I know pretty well.
Yeah.
And are your California clients, 5, I would presume that's like a good amount.
Yeah, it is. And I explained Dallas compared to LA. I'm like, Dallas is like a mini LA. Okay. You have your shopping, you have your nightlife, you have your restaurants, you have your mansions.
Yep.
It's just, you know, not as spread out. I mean, like you said, Plano's huge. If I go to Prosper, like, you know, it's a little farther out, but it's nothing compared to like the Valley to Beverly Hills at 6 p.m. on a weekday.
Yeah.
You know? So I kind of say that Beverly Hills is like your Park Cities, which is your Highland Park, and then your Preston Hollow is like your Bel Air.
Yeah. Are your clients just absolutely blown away with the price difference, or no, is it starting to catch up a little bit?
It's starting to catch up a little bit. So good one. Yeah.
That's what I was starting to notice.
You know, they still get some difference, right? Yeah. But it's catching up there, and it's kind of like, oh shit, like you still want them to move here, but you're like, I could find you a condo 4-bedroom for $5 million, and they're like, that's a lot. And I was like, I know, you know, or I want a lease and a high rise. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to spend minimum of $18,000 a month, when I think it used to be probably like 7 was the highest, you know, making that up, but something like that.
That's wild. Well, that's awesome. I mean, you have such a good grip on, I think like your feel. I mean, you're so, you know, well versed, and I mean your client base, I think, is a testament to you and how hardworking you are.
Yeah, right? No, I really appreciate that. I do work hard. However, it's hard. I say this a lot. It's like you wish it was all peaches and cream, but to handle both states and then to handle social life and family and all these weddings I'm in, which don't get me wrong, they're great. It's hard. You know, and I get worn out a lot. Yeah. I might not show it, but I do.
What does Melissa Platt like to do to
unwind?
Yeah.
I chill with my dog on my sofa, and I love Love Island, UK.
Okay.
Love that shit. Or a scary movie, like, and not talking to anyone and playing a word game on my phone, to be honest. Yeah. That is the happiest.
Yeah.
People think with me that I'm the happiest when I'm at a club. Don't get me wrong, I love my clubs. Yeah. Shout out Citizen or Hyde in LA.
Awesome.
I love my clubs and I love, you know, being with my friends, but my true self is like when I'm at home.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want more of that.
Yeah, that's great. So, God, I mean, the thing is that, like, it's like if you're a football coach, if you're really good at coaching football, you're going to get promoted and get a better job. And if you're bad at football, you're going to get fired and go to a worse job. So it's like, it's not your damned if you do, damned if you don't, but like you kind of live out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
For you, you're not getting worse, you're getting better. You're not getting smaller, you're getting bigger. So like with your personal career and your personal book of business, I guess outside of looking in, like you're only getting better, which means you're only going to get busier. However, what's sustainable? So I guess my question to you is like, what does Melissa Platt's future look like? I mean, unless Romeo sweeps you off your feet and you fall in love and get married, which we'll talk about in a minute, dating life.
Yeah, right.
Can you just kind of see yourself just sustaining where you're at right now?
Yeah, and, you know, I've talked with my team in Dallas about that because they're like, you could be, you know, the top agent. You could be killing it. And
if you were here full time in LA or Dallas, right.
And if I was here full time, or if I was, you know, my main thing was to go out and get new business, which I understand. I should do that, but there's not enough time in the day. And hello, we still good? And not enough time in the day, and it's like I get the things done that I need to, but at the end of the day, I'm wiped out.
Yeah.
And I wish I could sit here and say, "Oh, I'm killing it. I work, from sunrise to sunset."
Yeah.
And I do sometimes, but other times I'm like, okay, well, my priorities, I get them all done first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
And then if I want to go to a workout class and let off steam, I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
If I want to go see friends I haven't seen in a while because I've been cooped up working, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's quality of life.
Yeah.
Right? And at the
You
end
can't be too hard on yourself.
You should, but you can't.
It's
and you can't,
hard.
but you
It's
need
hard to say.
It's a hard balance. It's just
It
the whole,
is.
like, the whole balance thing is just, it's a really hard topic to kind of articulate. But that kind of leads me into my...
It's just me being honest,
I love it.
Yeah.
That's what everybody loves about you. Melissa Platt keeps it real.
I do. I don't know which camera I'm looking at, but I do.
They're all...
all looking at me.
So it kind of leads me to like my last kind of like section I want to devote to is, kind of dating. So are you seeing anyone now? Are you single? Single as a Pringle? Or?
I'm single as a Pringle.
Okay. So listening to your story, listening to your lifestyle, I mean, I could probably ask for every single guy out there, like, okay, you've got practically all the boxes that any logical man would want in a woman, right? So I'll be your hype man for like a little bit.
Thank you.
Right? Very hardworking, very independent, very self-sufficient, very good looking, good energy. So like you got it all. So guys would want to know, like, what do you look for in a guy? Because from a guy's perspective, it's harder to organically talk to people in person, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. If a guy goes up to a girl in the bar, it's so fucking awkward. What do you say? Right? So now like dating apps are popular, social media is popular to like break the ice.
Yeah, of course.
But like, I do find, in my opinion, that successful women are more intimidating, generally speaking.
Yes, no, I completely understand that.
So while I think that, I have a genuine friendship with you and you're not intimidating.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just like making points. So like, what qualities we're not generalizing. I'm not saying what do women look, I don't care about women. What are some qualities in a guy that you look for are important for you?
So I'm going to switch it a little bit on you because, and again, no offense to how people answer this question because it is a legitimate question, but of course you want someone that's loyal and loving and all that, but I'll tell you how I am in a relationship. Yeah. Okay. Like I'm very supportive. Okay. And when I say supportive, if I meet someone that loves me for me and, has family morals and is just a good person, if they're at the beginning of their career or the middle or the end, if they're extremely successful, fantastic. But if they're motivated and have a future plan, I'm all in. Like, I think people look at what I put on social media or, I'm on a show or I'm living back and forth or, I have a house, like stuff like that. People are like, oh, I can't provide that for her. I'm out. No.
And you're saying, motherfucker, I provide it for myself.
Exactly.
I'm not looking for someone to provide
And I'm so tired of either hearing it from a girlfriend or a guy friend, like, oh, well, they were into you, but you're really intimidating. It's like, grow some balls and talk to me. I'm the most chill person, nicest person. I told you what I love to do is sit on my sofa with my dog and watch Love Island. If you don't like Love Island, we'll switch the show. Yeah. No, but I think that's the hardest thing, right? Because I guess I shouldn't say I guess. I put something out there and it's giving the wrong message, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like show me on the sofa that it just doesn't, it's not me.
Right.
I show the really fun parts, but I'm really chill. And I know that I'll find it. I'm very optimistic. I think if you would have asked me years ago, I would have been like, oh, not ever for me, but I'm optimistic. However, like, I think my purpose in life is in a way to kind of be like a matchmaker. And I'm not saying matchmaker like, oh, Nick, you should date this person. Right. It's more like I want, my best friend's, lives in Tampa. Another friend of mine's moving there. And I'm like, y'all should meet each other. I'd love it. And I hope they become best friends. Or, hey, Jess wants to get bigger in her business. I'm like, you should do this in Vegas. I'll set you up with this person. Like, I want to make, I feel like that's my purpose in life, is to make connections, whether it's friends, work, helping someone along the way. Like that it'll come full circle. I think I'll meet someone, but I'm not out there looking.
Right. Which is usually when you find something or something.
I mean, I'm not looking for a really long time. But yeah, and hopefully that all made sense.
No, it did. I mean, you have so many relationships that you built through the years from just being yourself in the industry that you're in, networking, that it sounds like you're kind of in a, I don't want to call it chapter or phase in your life, but you're at a point in your life where you find a lot of fulfillment out of just connecting genuine people that you feel like there's a synergy.
Yes.
And you're saying that optimistically, you know what? They could say, you know what? Heck, I've actually got a guy. You're just saying, like, listen, you get a lot of fulfillment from connecting people that could mold or
a lot of
mash
fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's a great way to say it.
And so at this point in your life, you're like, you're more than content.
Yeah.
Right?
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
And you know what I appreciate about that is I don't feel bad, but like I have found that more girls I talk to that are single after the age of 28, 29, they're like fucking bitter. And this goes for guys, and this goes for guys too. I will never ever single out just girls and guys, but there are certain guys and girls where I feel like I meet a lot of people and they're just like bitter that they're single.
Yeah.
And to me, I take that as like, well, you're just not full. And I talked about this previous in my first episode I did just by myself of like, I consider myself full. That does not mean that I'm perfect. That does not mean that I don't make a lot of mistakes. That does not mean that I won't continue to make a lot of mistakes. It simply means I love myself for the good, the bad, the ugly. But I love myself. Yeah. Because what's the alternative?
Yeah, of course.
I love how I look. Oh, you're cocky, you're arrogant. Tell me what the alternative is. Should I not love how I look? I love, how I don't know. It's just anything. Like I always look at it like, what's the alternative? Should I not love myself? Should I not be happy with myself? Should I not think that all my mistakes I made were for a reason? Should I not, all that stuff? So I think with you,
like that earlier too.
Yeah, right? I just look at you like I look at you like you're full. I mean, you know who you are, you know what you are, you know the path that you're going, and you're not afraid. You're like a fearless, ambitious person who's like, you know what? I'm happy. I love my life. I've got great people around me.
Exactly.
If I find Romeo, I will. Prince Charming, I will. If not, like
exactly. Like I have my fun. You know what I mean? Like, and but yeah, just going off of what people expect, I'm expecting.
Yeah.
It's not the case, and I wouldn't want to be with someone like that anyway. That's just going to be scared of, someone they think I am. But like me, and my close friends know me, and I'm really just a fun-loving gal, but no, really.
So real talk, if there's a guy that...
Dial in now. Start.
If there's a guy that, I'll just throw out like an LA type stereotype. Like there's good-looking, 6'2", plays beach volleyball all the time. Like he's driven, has ambition in his career, but he does not make six figures, but he's devoted to you. He's loyal. He's faithful.
100%. I'd
really?
Jump on that.
Okay.
It's
because
really,
I think that guys don't believe that.
No, I'm at a point.
You're switching the narrative. This is about you. So
yeah.
So
yeah,
you're
I'm
saying
at a point in my life. I've been that way for a while. That I really, as soapy as this sounds, like I want to meet someone who loves me for me, and I love them right back. And if they have that motivation, I don't care what they make.
Right.
If they make, 5 figures and they're, sitting on the sofa when they get off work or on the weekends, different story. Not into you, not attractive. But someone who wants to work to get to a certain place, even if it's, not that high for the end goal, that's okay. It's just someone who's motivated. That's what I want. Then it motivates yourself.
Yeah. So guys, biggest takeaway, women like Melissa, you love ambition. I think it's the
so
ambition.
Hot to me.
It's got it. As a man, in my opinion, I think confidence is the most attractive quality. If there's a girl that's a 7 who's extremely confident and loving and nurturing,
makes her the hottest
compared to
in
a
the room.
girl that's a 10 who's just a cold bitch.
Yeah.
I'll go with the 7 all day.
Yeah.
So I think with you, you're saying like, listen, women love the ambition. They love a man that he has goals and works towards the goals.
Yeah.
I think that's
exactly.
I think guys need to listen to that and take that into consideration. Like, fellas out there, y'all don't need to have the house, the car, everything.
Just show
like,
that you want, like,
100%.
even if you never get there, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Try.
Try.
Right.
Like, I've been very fortunate in my life. I've taken great trips. I have great friends. I love, whatever.
Yeah.
Had great experiences like the show.
Yeah.
But, it's at the end of the day who you come home to.
Yeah.
And if someone can't provide all that for me, I've lived a lot of it. It's okay.
Right.
But even if I never did live it, I'm just about the person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is real. And again, some people might think that sounds cheesy, but it's just me being honest.
No, I mean, listen, you've got like valid.
I just spilled water all down my shirt. That was great. Just woke me up.
This is Melissa Platt, y'all.
Yeah, it's me.
You're just the most lovable person. This is great. Well, I mean, this is awesome. Like I said, I have looked up to you since, from the way that you treat people to the energy and vibration you give off to just how dedicated you are to your work. And you take your work very serious. I do want people to know out there that, like, you like to go out and have a good time, but like let me tell the audience this. I've never once seen Melissa Platt trashed. I never once have seen Melissa Platt.
I love that.
I mean, like I don't know. You just take your shit serious.
He didn't see me in college. I'm just kidding. Mom and Dad, I'm kidding. No, I keep it together. I have my fun though. I mean,
you got
I love fireball shots. You got to wake up.
Fireball's your go-to?
Oh yeah, I love it. Lalo's my new tequila. Shout out Lalo. No, I'm not sponsored or anything. I totally was just saying it's good tequila.
Good plug.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, that was awesome. When does all listeners? When does season 2? I mean,
I don't know when it's airing.
Okay.
I moved.
You just announced that you're going back and.
Yeah, I'm going back for a while, and I'll pack my bags. I'll pack my dog, and I'll film the best TV show.
I love it.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna end with some rapid fire questions.
I'm excited for these.
Are you?
Yeah.
We're gonna do some rapid fire, and then we're gonna call it quits. Here we go.
He has to go through his Bumble matches first.
I took off Bumble a couple weeks ago. It's
Are you back on?
I'm not on.
Oh.
I took it off a couple weeks ago. It's overwhelming.
Okay. So Hinge, you're checking your Hinge?
No, I'm not on anything. No, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, you're good, bro. Okay, you ready?
I'm good. All right. Vodka or tequila?
Tequila.
Tequila. Beach or mountains?
Beach.
What's your favorite sport to watch in person?
Basketball.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
I knew that. Rap or country?
Rap.
Ski or snowboard?
Neither. Après ski.
You what?
Like drinking after hours. I don't ski or snowboard.
Snowboard.
You'll see me at the spa.
All right. Who's the most famous person in your phone?
Gosh.
This is a good one because Melissa's got some heavy hitters.
I got some heavy hitters. It depends which world too we're talking.
Yeah, because you got so Platt's got the plug. That could be like a name of like a business.
The Platt plug.
The Platt plug. You've got entertainers.
Mm-hmm.
You're super tight with Paris Hilton.
Yeah,
she's
probably the most famous person.
And then you have athletes.
Yeah.
And so you've got like former athletes and then present day athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so who's the most famous entertainer, I would say, or in an entertainment field? Paris Hilton's pretty fucking famous.
Yeah, I think Paris kills it. I love her. Yeah, Paris.
Is she super funny?
Yeah, she's so chill.
Really?
Really cool. That's really cool and very hardworking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, what about present?
Joel Embiid.
He's big time. Mm-hmm. Did you help him with a spot?
I haven't yet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Possibly though?
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh yeah, he's big time. Would you rather do Netflix at home or movie at a movie theater?
Netflix at home. Because I watch myself.
Jordans or red bottoms?
Jordans.
Love that. What's the coolest vacation you've ever been on?
That's a really good one. I would say I took a cruise around Europe.
That's fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. Like what countries? Like Amalfi?
No, it was a Mediterranean cruise. So we did like Italy and France.
Amalfi is in Italy.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm very street smart. I'm not book smart. So
I'm neither smart, so it's good. But so like a Mediterranean cruise was like awesome.
Yeah, but I've been to so many cool places.
Yeah.
St. Bart's is unbelievable.
Is that really far to get to? I don't know. We're St. Bart's.
It's not that bad. Not that hard to get to.
St. Bart's is awesome though.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
Any person, dead or alive, that you would most likely want to party with?
Oh, that's a great one. I
feel like you'd want to party with Marilyn Monroe.
Really?
I don't know, because she's...
I mean, she's sexy, but like, not. I don't think that's my type.
All right, so...
I would say Lil Wayne. He's alive.
Yeah.
Or Eminem.
Have you ever met...
No, I don't think Eminem's really a party.
Have you ever met Lil Wayne?
I have not.
I got a really, really close friend who's really, really close friends with him.
Okay, so by the next time I do this, you know, he'll be coming with me.
That'd be fucking awesome. And I saw Lil Wayne perform at 11.
Yeah.
And it was the most incredible experience, I think, of my life.
Yeah, I've heard he's really nice.
Yeah, I've heard he's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
But
cool.
I mean, my list could be, 20 people long.
I saw an Instagram video of you not too long ago, and I swear to God, I felt like you were filming Justin Bieber performing. You were like 5 feet away from Bieber.
Yeah.
In like a very like private party.
Yeah, my
intimate
friends
setting.
on Hwood, the Hwood venues, and it's...
No, you were like this close to
Club.
Biebs.
Yeah.
What was that
it was
like?
Halloween. I mean, sick. He's an incredible performer.
Was Haley there?
Yeah, I think so.
Did you get to meet her?
I've met her before. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, she's
cool.
a doll too.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. That was a good one. I really like that a lot. I loved it.
He says that after all of them.
No, that was a lot of fun. Guys, thank you so much for listening. Real quick, how does everyone that hasn't found you, how do people find you on the gram?
214-5. I'm totally kidding.
She's giving the digits out, y'all. What's the
Melissa Platt
Melissa Platt
_
Is it underscore?
and then it's 214.
She's
I
going.
probably just showed my.
She's going for the kill.
Yeah.
All right, I love y'all. Thank you for listening,
Thanks,
Melissa.
y'all.
Thanks, girl.
If you